Well, my name is Chrystal Hansen, and I just wrote a book called God, Can You Love Me Even When I Can't Love You? And that came out of a very personal time and a very personal story in my life where I really struggled with what I was going through and what God was doing and where He was. It was in the midst of my struggle that I asked that question. And it was at a time when I really felt that when I couldn't read the Bible, when I couldn't worship, when I couldn't go to church, I really wondered, God, can you really love me? Because I wasn't doing the Christian things I had been raised to do, that my church had taught me to do. I was totally incapable of really loving God back. And what I found in my experience, even though it was very painful and even though it was one of the hardest experiences that I'd ever gone through, which was a mental illness, struggling with bipolar, I really did find that God loved me, that God was there, that God was faithful. And even when I couldn't be the person that I wanted to be, even when I couldn't pray or I couldn't read the Word or I couldn't minister or I couldn't even take care of my children, I found that God was so faithful, and I found that God still loved me, and I could sense His love in those moments. And so it was because of that experience that I really felt compelled to write about that. I know that there are so many people who struggle in everyday life, in illnesses, in divorces, in loneliness, and I know that there are many times that we ask that question and that we wonder as believers, God, are you still loving me? God, am I still one of your children? In my book, you will hear my story of my struggle through mental illness. I had a mental breakdown at the age of 33, and God miraculously healed me 2.5 to 3 years later. And in that entire episode, I struggled with so many things. I struggled with living. I struggled with being the person that I wanted to be. I struggled with my ministry, with being a wife, being a friend, and just being a person and living every single day. And in the book, I just share my heart. I share the fact of how personal God was with me in that entire time, how He met me every day, how He helped me recover, how He intervened in ways that I never thought that He would. So in my book, I tell a very personal story of my own life and my own journey that I hope will bless you and will encourage you wherever you are in your journey. And I also give principles that I believe God gave to me as I journeyed through this time, ways in which He transformed my heart, ways in which He helped me restore my life, because He said He has created us in His image, and He is transforming us into the fullness of Christ. And I believe no matter what situation that you are in, no matter what situation that life brings to any of us, God turns it around for good when we give our lives over to Him, when we walk in the way that He wants us to walk. And He will transform those horrible situations, those bad things that have happened to us that we didn't want to happen. And He will be faithful to be with us, to love us, and to transform our lives into the image of Christ.